All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. The San Antonio Spurs have had the number of the Oklahoma City Thunder all season long, but will that change in the Western Conference Finals, which are set to begin tonight? Now, the Thunder are looking to get back to the NBA Finals for a second consecutive year, but it's not going to be easy against a team, like I said, that had their number throughout the regular season. What we have in this series is a pair of teams who won more than 60 games this year. Spurs won 62, while OKC won 64. You have the reigning two-time MVP in SGA and his runner-up in Victor Wembanyama for the Spurs. You look at both of these players, and their play really sets the tempo for their respective clubs. You got a lot of depth from both of these teams. You think about the Spurs with the likes of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and Devin Vassell. No team, okay, is averaging more rebounds and blocks per game in these playoffs than the Spurs. And of course, a lot of that can be attributed to the presence of Wemby. On the flip side for OKC, you've got Chet Holmgren, who, just continues to be a silky smooth contributor out there. The return of Jalen Williams. He only played in 2 games in the first round against the Phoenix Suns, has been out ever since. Of course, he missed the bulk of the regular season due to injury. So he's still trying to get it back. But, it's like I just think it speaks to the depth of the Thunder due to the fact that, this team really didn't have Jalen Williams all season long, and they didn't skip a beat. Of course, there's a big chore ahead for Isaiah Hartenstein in this series, as you're not going to stop Wemby. Okay, you just can only hope to contain him, and that's going to be easier said than done because when Wemby's on top of his game, it's like a man among boys. But again, speaking of that depth of OKC, you've got the likes of Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Joe, just to name a few. And it's going to be interesting with the contrast of styles because you look at the Thunder, they have yet to lose a game so far in this postseason. And guess what? That is going to change in this series because this could be the toughest team that the Thunder are going to have to deal with in these playoffs. You have Mark Dagnall, the coach of OKC. You have Mitch Johnson, the coach of San Antonio. And for some people, they feel that this is the real NBA Finals right here. Both of these teams are definitely capable of being the last team standing. Two talented teams. It's going to be a matter of not just which superstar, because both Wemby and SGA are superstars. So it's not just which superstar rises to the occasion in this series. It's going to also be the guys around those respective players. I look at it like this series is going to be worth the price of admission and then some. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think it's going to come down to the coaches. And the reason why, when you have a back and forth series like we are expecting to see, it comes down to the adjustments. Okay, what adjustments can you make? And for me, honestly, I look at this series, this is about to begin tonight, and I see SGA and the Thunder who are hard to beat. But at the same time, where I've been saying that as long as Victor Wembanyama is healthy, I don't see the San Antonio Spurs not winning the NBA championship. That's how good and that's how talented that this team is. This, like I said, this is going to be a back and forth series throughout. But when it's all said and done, I'm going to give the Spurs the edge over OKC in 7 games. But folks, that's going to wrap it up on this edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking this out. And if you like what you heard and saw, you know what to do, fine folks. Just hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it's greatly appreciated. Also, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out anytime at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, it will be my pleasure to do the same in return. And that also goes for Instagram, and you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, definitely be sure to check out the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.